Hey everybody, welcome back to Eat and Talk. Today I have a lovely guest and I'm so excited. First of all, happy Black History Month, and we are starting with Black excellence today. She is a woman, she is a queen, she is phenomenal. Her name is Naima. Welcome to our studio. You guys, she's glowing. She just looks amazing. And I'm gonna let you introduce yourself, but I was honored to be part of her phenomenal fashion show this past December. And she has a brand called Zolasina. And you guys, when I tell you, we had a blast. I'm gonna see if we can insert some of those clips here so you guys can kind of see a preview. I have never modeled ever. Really? Ever, yes, yeah. Because I'm the biggest klutz and I'm also very nervous. But I had so much fun at your show, and I had so much fun because of you. Oh, and I really feel like to each and every, I mean, you connected amazing, wonderful women. Yeah. I loved the concept. Shout out to our sister, Holden. Yes. She provided an amazing space. But we're going to get into all of that.
We're going to do that.
Before we even get to the fashion show, I'm getting ahead of myself. I just want to give you your flowers.
Yeah, thank you.
Naima, welcome.
Thank you.
Please tell our viewers, you know, who are you, and tell us about Zolasina, how you came up with the name, what it is.
Yeah. Oh my God. Thank you for that introduction. You're just beautiful.
Thank you.
Inside out.
Thank you.
I appreciate everything that you said because, you know, Zolasina, I've been on a journey and I think, you know, people are just seeing that journey right now, but I've always loved just being an artistic person. Yeah. Ever since I can remember, I think my parents tell me, like, when I was a toddler, I would just pick up whatever, like, I could find, anything, yes. You know, just to just doodle and draw. Mm-hmm. And I just had that in me, and I knew there was a story behind it. And over the years, you know, I just kind of liked the idea of just drawing it was very therapeutic to me. So I have several sketchbooks over the years, and it just kind of was my solitude, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, I never really imagined it to be a business because you know how it is when something's so personal and it's just a hobby for you. You don't really think of it as a business. But over time, I just felt like, you know, because we're Muslim women, because we're Somali women and Black women in America, we have very limited choices in terms of our expression through fashion. And we hear that a lot, that, you know, we don't really have a lot of options when we go shopping. Yeah. We try to make do with what we have. And sometimes it's soul crushing.
Yeah.
There's many times, I know you went through it. You're a beautiful woman.
Thank you.
And you know, you want to go out, maybe you want to go to a wedding, you want to wear a dress, and you have this vision, and you go to the stores and you cannot find what you are looking for. Yeah. And it's because we're an afterthought. There's very few designers that design for women like us, and that's the reality. And so I kind of like took matters into my own hands.
I love that.
I just said, you know what, if it's not out there, create it.
Absolutely.
And that's really why I did Zolasina, is because it's really taking our power back as consumers, as lovers of fashion, as women.
Yeah.
Because, you know, to dress up, it's an aesthetic. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a style, but there's just very foundational feelings of when you look good and you can show up in your best self. Dressing up is the first thing. Looking good is also internal, but there's an external piece to it. And when you're covering a slit or you're covering something, because your value is to be a modest woman, it takes away from that experience. And I just felt like I have to do something about it.
Yeah, that's so amazing. And that's really important, honestly. Like you mentioned, it's the biggest struggle, you know, living in the West is finding something that not only is modest, but also makes us feel good. Yeah. Because, you know, growing up, you know, when we our shopping, we had very limited options, and you know, it might solve one. We might only just be modest, but we don't feel good in it, or you know, or it's uncomfortable. It's not modest, but we felt good in it. So it's like, you know, finding a balance. So I think that's, and like you said, like, at some point we have to take matters into our own hands, but not all of us are gifted like you, and so no, I wouldn't ever know how to do that. So I'm so glad that we have somebody like you. When did you realize, you know, when you started taking this journey, like, okay, wow, this is working, this is, I love this, like, how were you, you know, collecting input from women, you know, like, how was the journey of like finding pieces that worked, that didn't work, like what were some obstacles that you went through?
So many. So when I decided, like, I want to do something, I want to create a brand, and I use brand very specifically because creating modest clothing, you know, we can find modest clothing when you go to Caramel Mall.
Right.
You can find your abaya, you can find your skirt there, but creating a brand is like an identity, right? And I wanted a brand. I wanted to create an identity for Zolasina, right? And it's really, it took a lot of thinking, but I think right now where I'm at, I feel like there's the reception that I'm getting right now that I'm on the right path.
Right.
And at the beginning, because my background isn't in fashion, like I didn't go to the fashion schools, right? But I've been sewing here and there. I've been designing quite a lot. I've been dreaming up a lot of collections. I have several books of collections. Getting from a sketch to the end where a woman is wearing your clothes that you made, and she feels great, it fits her well, she's re-wearing it, that I can't even describe that feeling. And it makes it so worth it, because making clothes is very difficult. Making it from scratch is super difficult process. So what I did for myself, because my background is in public policy, I have a healthcare background, I'm not a fashion designer during the day, I don't do that. I had to really commit to this experience. So I had to gain some skills. And over the last couple of years, whether that was joining groups, you know, where they are other designers like me, and we help each other out, or taking classes online. And I've done it all so far. I have really tried to give this a really good shot so I can do it properly. So I've learned how to do tech packs, which is basically taking a sketch into CAD design, creating every single inch of that design, choosing fabrics. I've gone to fabric shows in Miami, Los Angeles, overseas. Choosing fabric. Fabric is actually my love. I didn't even realize how much I love fabrics. Is that like the most exciting part? It really is. For me, it's my medium. As an artist, I've considered myself an artist.
You are.
The fabric, it's kind of like a painter, you know, when they're looking at acrylics or they're looking at what are you going to use on this canvas. For me, it starts with the fabric, and I wanted to learn about texture. I wanted to learn about drapery. I wanted to learn about how does this fabric work well with this style, and how is it going to look on a woman, how is it going to make her feel, and then I create the design for that fabric. So I have this sort of a reverse engineering methodology, and it's too much to go into. I'm kind of a nerd.
No, I love this. Please, like, this is the piece of the platform we love everyone to talk about their expertise. So I'm enjoying this.
Good, because a lot of people are like, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, no, this is super cool.
But it's my methodology, and I'm super thorough. When I'm into something, I want to just like get into it, and I immerse myself. So it's definitely been a process of learning. I'm still learning. I'm learning what works in the collections. So right now, my first two collections, which people saw at the fashion show, the latter one, was sort of an edit from my first, right? So my first collection, people loved it. And I said, what more do they want? So I do a lot of research. I actually talk to my customers when they come. I'm their stylist. I'm their confidant.
I love that.
I just give them such a great experience because I want that for myself. I want, you know, when I come in a store, I want people to, I want to see myself in that clothes. I want to know that the designer thought about me and thought about all the solutions that I want to see. So women talk to me. I gather that information. I react to that information in my next collections.
Wow.
That's kind of how I work.
I love that so much. So let's talk about the collections that you've had so far. Walk us through like your first and second collection and how you were narrowed down to the release of those.
Yeah. So I had so many things I could do. I was telling you earlier, you know, there's like so many categories of fashion and apparel. And the area that I really liked is the ready to wear. And it's really just having pieces, staple pieces that you can go back to over and over again. So my core collection focuses on things that you want to have in your closet. It's a shirt, but it's a shirt that is high quality. It's made from a very comfortable fabric. You know, it flows and drapes well on your body. It takes away all the things that you don't like about a shirt. Yeah. And I went through a lot of sampling processes. I have my fit models, try them on. I take an inch out here, put an inch down there, make the hemline this way. It's like 3 or 4 times where I'm going back to this one specific product to perfect it. And then when it goes out to others, I want even more feedback because I'm like, okay, you are not my fit model, but how do you feel in it? And then so my second edit, I want to include some of those improvements in it. Wow. So it's really iterative design where I just, you know, I want to make sure I'm responding to my customers' needs. And I because I'm a woman of faith and I'm Muslim, there are certain needs that we have, and I want to make sure it's part of that design process.
Yeah. That's so valuable. I love that so much. And I know with the pieces that I got to look at and feel in touch, a lot of those pieces were designed for us women in the work world, workforce. Tell me a little bit about that, because I thought that was, I have my own commentary, but it was so valuable to us, especially a lot of us like who are moms who have to go out and work, but it's so hard for us to like be presentable, you know, in the spaces that we're at. So how was that like for you?
You know, I really just put myself in that framework of I'm a mom, I'm a professional woman, I have my needs, and I actually I became my own client. Yeah. And I said, what would you want in an ideal world? And I just started from there. It was a lot of internal, you know, thinking and reflecting about what's not out there or what's out there now that is not satisfying to me. And so the core collection, you're right, is really targeting women that want to look professional, but I also wanted to help her transition from the day to the evening. And so a lot of us working women, you know, if we want to go out with our girls, we want a piece that can maybe, the thing that I wore during the day, maybe can I just style it differently? Can I wear a different hijab with it now? Can I put some jewelry on it? Can I put a nice belt on it? How is it going to change? And I really just kind of wanted to see how I can stretch this one thing. So like the wrap dress, for example, that you are wearing, that wrap dress, if you know you wanted to wear it to work, you can make that happen. If you wanted to accessorize it like you did on the fashion runway, it looks so beautiful. It could look like a gown if you wanted it to, you know. And it's so comfortable. You know, the fabric that I use is called Tencel, and it's like super durable. And I wanted you to feel comfortable too, because if you know, a lot of times we look beautiful, but we're not comfortable as women. And I just, that comfort piece, that versatility was huge for me. And so the collection, I want it to last you a long time too. Like it's not going to be a style that's so trendy that a year from now you will not go back to it. I want you to rewear it and even maybe pass it down to your daughter if you wanted to, or a sister or somebody. So make a lot of usage off of it. And the one thing that I didn't want to repeat with my line is the idea of fast fashion. And I think that's a point that I really want to make to your viewers.
So what's fast fashion?
Okay, so fast fashion is really the idea of buying cheap products, cheap clothes. I'm not going to name brands, but you know what I mean. Cheap clothes at the detriment of the environment and the consumerism that you're this habit of just constantly buying, and this throwaway culture where, you know, oh, it's $10. Just gonna wear it one time, or maybe I will not even wear it. How many of us have closets full of clothes? Some of it has tags and we have not even worn it because we just have a habit of shopping.
We see it online, and when it comes, it's not at all what we thought it would be. The material is very flimsy, and you're right. We keep it in the tag, we just don't wear it, and we're too lazy to send it back.
And that's what they're counting on. You know, when they know that you're not going to send back this product now, but you know, it's just going to sit in your closet, and you're just going to throw it. And where does it end up? All of these clothes end up somewhere. When you talk about the amount of waste that the fashion industry brings on, like produces, it's so crazy. I mean, I could tell you statistics. You'll get, you know, it's really terrible. And when you talk about synthetic fabrics like polyester and nylon, although now they're trying to do recycled polyester and whatnot, it's not enough. It's still not something that is biodegradable. What it does is it's still in the soil. It's killing the soil. It's killing land. And they send all this stuff, all these fast fashion outside of America to poor countries. It lands in the coast of Africa. It lands in a very poor country that has to now deal with this pollution. And it's no longer our problem. But what did we do? We just wanted to satisfy that habit, right, of just buying something and throwing it away. And so I didn't want to do that. So I specifically chose a biodegradable natural fabric. And, you know, it's something I want to continue. I want to get into other natural fabrics as well, because, you know, it's not okay for us to continue with this. And it's like, you know, we have to really think about not just our environment, but what kind of message are we sending the younger generation, right? So I just, you know, being a mom, I just wanted to leave behind a good legacy too. So I think that's one of the, like, you know, most, you know, amazing things about you also is the fact that you're a mom to daughters, and this is something that they can, you know, look up to, because I'm always thinking about the future and the kids, you know, and, you know, I'm seeing how society is these days, and it's just like going downhill, and it's getting harder and harder to set examples, you know. So it's great that we can start with our own household, and I love that they're able to see, like, okay, like our mommy is not only setting examples, but you know, doing something out of creativity that they could just take into their own hands in the future. So I think that's absolutely amazing. So tell us what's next. What can we look forward to with, you know, Zolasina? And I don't know if you mentioned this already, but how did you come up with that name? The name, the name is very much in line with what I was talking about with sustainability, and really, I wanted to send a message of really taking care of our planet, which, as you can see, climate change. You know, we have a very beautiful winter, but it's not by accident. It's because of climate change that it's so warm now. And last year it was like we had like 50 inches of snow at this time. Because the Earth, you know, we live here, and we're gonna hopefully leave at some point, I mean, something behind, hopefully something good. So Zolasina is just two names that I brought together. It's not a Somali name. I know some people are like, why didn't you choose a Somali name? But, you know, I wanted something that rings well with what I'm trying to achieve. So Zola is a African Zulu name. It means of the earth. And then Sina is, I think it has some like Middle Eastern roots, and it's treasure. So it's treasuring our earth, but also treasuring ourselves. Like having natural fabrics on your body feels so different from having a synthetic fabric like polyester. You know, your skin breathes. And I can speak on behalf of that, because your material is
I remember like asking you 3 times, like, what is this? Like, even if you described it, I was like, I don't know, but I was like, I love it.
Yeah.
Your hijabs.
Yes.
Like, tell us a little bit about your hijabs because I love hijabs. Like, this is Jersey and really like, but your hijabs does not slip. Like,
no.
And I feel rich, girl.
Yeah.
I feel expensive.
Opulence.
It does not feel like a $5 chiffon hijab. Yeah. I feel good in it.
Yes.
Like, and then I love the size. My biggest problem is like when I'm looking for hijabs, I might find nice hijabs, but they're too small or I can't wrap it around my neck. It just like, there's something, it's uneven. It's like whatever.
Yeah.
So everything about like your hijabs were just phenomenal to me.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
It was the same ring. Like I really wanted good fabrics, like you were saying, like the formulation of adding, the bamboo and the silk and all that. Like that really helps with the hijab not being transparent because obviously you don't want your hair to show through the hijab, but also staying on your head and then making you feel like you were saying, you just feel like you're wearing something good, like good quality.
It feels so nice.
Yes.
And same thing with like your clothes, your dresses, your trousers, your blazers, like they all felt really good quality. And like growing up, my dad always like told me, quality over quantity. Like we wouldn't do excessive shopping. We would do, shopping very once in a while, but those like pieces would last us a very long time. And I think, and that's like a mindset now I grew up with and I use for my kid because it's like, like the price might seem nice, but it's better for you to invest.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's what clothes are. It can be an investment.
It can be investment pieces.
If the quality is great, like you said, you can pass down to your kids. I love how you mentioned transitioning from day to night. Yes. You can't do that with cheap clothing, but like with those type of clothes,
fall apart in the washing machine.
Yeah, at one time.
That's what happens. Yeah. Quite truly. After 2-3 washes, it starts
sometimes even one wash.
Even one wash, they fell apart and they just don't look the same. So that's why you end up going back to the store and buying more. But it's never going to change because that's what they want. They really do not want you to have clothes that last because it's business.
Yeah, it is.
It's business. And so I didn't want to take that route. But I really, honestly, I want someone to get the most out of their clothes. I would love you to go keep watching it. And I asked my customers who, we launched in March. So there's been people who actually, I did some pre-sales. They bought the whole entire collection. They're like, girl, I cannot stop wearing your shirts because I constantly wash them. They don't change. They just don't change. The color doesn't change. It's actually getting softer, and they just feel so comfortable and it doesn't shrink. That's the other thing that we have to deal with is shrinkage.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so they're woven fabrics that don't shrink. There's just a lot of good quality. And so, if you buy, let's say, a shirt that costs $100, but you wear it 100 times, that's $1 for each wear. Versus if you bought a shirt that was $10 and just wore it once, that's $10. It's just basic math. So I think people just need to start thinking a little bit more. Like, what am I buying here, right? In the short term, maybe I got something cheaper, but it didn't last me more than once or twice. So I actually paid more.
Absolutely. 100%. Yeah. No, I love that. Let's talk a little bit more about the fashion show.
Yay!
How did you...
My favorite part.
Yes, I know. Me too. Like, how did you come up with the concept? How did you feel like it went? Tell everybody who missed out that they missed out, Oh,
I know. I don't want to say that because I had a lot of phone calls like, oh my God, it got full, as you know.
I'll say it for you. I mean, I'm sorry that it got full, but wow, it was the show to be at. It was fun.
It was so much fun.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And thank you for gracing that runway.
No, of course.
Because, it wouldn't have happened the way it did without willing participants who had so much fun. I'm so happy to hear that. And really, honestly, when Hodan and I came together, it was, we just wanted to bring women together. We really wanted to give them a night out, like mothers or anybody that's a female. you know, we hardly come together in spaces
Right.
on our own.
Yeah.
And I think it was supposed to be an empowering night, and that's what ended up happening is women felt motivated, empowered, they networked. And then we had Hodan Abdurrahman that did a live show. She sang, she did such a phenomenal job.
Did, yeah.
And then the fashion show was just that, you know, that cherry on top. I really wanted to come out to everyone in a very stylish way. And it was just so special for me because that was my first fashion show. And I really if it wasn't for Hodan actually pushed me, you know, she was like, girl, you need to show this.
I can't believe that was just your first fashion show because it looks like you've been doing it for years.
Alhamdulillah.
Like,
you know, I prayed about it.
Yeah.
I really did. And you couldn't have been a better day. Like everything started on time.
Yeah.
We ended up on time.
It was organized. It was
believe
not
that.
like the stereotypical Somali event. It was.
Well, it didn't just happen by accident because, you know, Hodan and I are very anal about every single step.
Yeah.
And we had a whole project plan and we're just
I know you guys are the hardest woman I know, hardest working woman I know. So I
had a good partner.
I had no expectations of it being less than perfect because I knew you guys would do that.
And we had so much help, you know. I pulled in everybody I know.
Yeah.
My sister, I was talking about my sister Sadia, who's a designer.
Yeah.
She's an interior designer.
Yeah.
She brought in her creativity.
She did.
You know, I have my other sister Decca, who also she's really, she's such a bubbly, smiley person. She had that welcoming approach.
She did.
You know, I had so many of my sisters that just helped everything, you know, and I, you know, the speakers that came and they talked, you know, about just women coming together, Fortune, you know, and just everyone really just wanted to do something. And that's actually what made it so special is we all came with our A game and we just showed out. We just did. And I'm still getting phone calls right now and texts saying, when are we going to have another fashion show? When are we going to do another thing? And, you know, that's why I have Zolasina. Really, it's actually something that makes me feel like it's not just clothes. It's a community.
It is.
We're trying to build a community of empowered. We're all powerful women. We're very busy. Coming together and just benefiting from each other's company is something that I want to attach with my brand.
I love that. And another thing, you know, that I really admire about Zolasina is how you're also able to share stories through every piece of clothing and each woman that wears it has a story to share. And I feel like you're able to empower that.
Absolutely.
And I think that's amazing.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, you know, I thought about even with my designs, I thought about every style having a name.
Yeah.
And maybe that's something I want help with. I want to put out a poll, what should the wrap dress be called? What, you know, having attaching a name and a personality with each style is something I want to go to. Makes it more special. And, you know, when you wear, you know, the shirt, we want to call it something. And so when you wear it, you have that power inside of you to go forward, to do whatever the next thing is that you're going to do and just do your best, you know. So there is a powerful message behind the brand. Because a lot of times I feel like for us Black women, Muslim women, we are overlooked by a lot of these corporate America. We are not a majority, we're such a minority, but we're doing so much. Every woman I know is just has a dream and she's going after it. I mean, look at you. Look at you with your podcast, you know. We're all trying something and we're not afraid. And we need a brand, I feel like, that says, I see you. And I hope that I'm that brand for women where they know when they come to Zolasina, they're just going to be empowered. They're just going to feel special. Because that's what I want to feel when I go into a clothing store or wherever, a business. I want to feel like you made this for me. I want to feel that connection.
And I love it. And I would 100% rather support you than these corporate brand or these big name brands that, you know, see our modesty as a trend. And then, you know, it gets so frustrating when I see, you know, during fashion week, all of a sudden, yes, it's great that it's being inclusive and we see more modest fashion wear, but it's also we've been asking and crying for this for so long.
Where's the rest of the year?
And now you're like stealing our culture and you're stealing, you know, and you're benefiting it to pocket you, and it's not coming back into our community.
No, it's not.
Whereas like brands such as Zolasina, it's made by you, it's coming back to you, it's worn by you, it's representation, and it's genuine.
And it's genuine. Yeah. It's authentic. Yeah. There's a story behind it.
You're talking to the people, you're making it for us. You're not, you know, just making it to make it. And I think that's so important. Making it to make money
or whatever other motivation. There's absolutely. And that's why we need to support each other.
Yeah, that's a big thing.
Because we all go shopping. You know, we all go to the stores, and you know, why not support a brand that you know is actually valuing you and is valuing your experiences, and actually is looking at you and saying, what can I do to make things better?
Yeah.
And that's really what I want people to understand, is it's where I not looking at this as recreating a style that's out there. It's really looking at the solutions that we don't have. Right? The solutions that we really want to at a Macy's store, when we go shopping, when we find that perfect dress, but it's not really perfect. It's, I have to do things to it. I have to tailor it this way. I have to add things.
Or there's too much cleavage, or back is open. It's a lot.
And it's just a lot. And it's like, okay, now I have to think about how to cover this part, part. And, you know, it's very uncomfortable to wear certain clothing because it's not representing me and my values. And so, you know, definitely come support.
Yes,
you know?
absolutely.
We should all support each other.
We should all support each other. I love that. So do you have any exciting new endeavors that we should know about, or anything that's coming up that our viewers should take a look out for?
I'm always cooking up something. I have a list of ideas.
Let's hear it.
Where's the time? That's what it is. So the first thing I do want to share is that I have an event coming up. It's called Shaax and Shopping.
Oh, this is the perfect time to introduce our Shaax, y'all.
Yes, Hamdi Coffee.
You know, Hamdi Coffee.
You gotta support.
If you know, you know. This is the best Shaax in Minneapolis. Actually, I will say I do enjoy the 24 Shaax do Shaax Ma'an, but Hamdi,
so good.
It's so good. Mashallah, so good. So we're
gonna have
tell me about
Shaax
that.
and Shopping. And basically the concept is that, well, we had a very lively, energetic event in December when we did the fashion show. This is going to be an intimate afternoon tea time experience for women that includes shopping. And I will put out the best customer service that I can with my team that really is going to make women feel really special. It's going to be on February 24th between 4 and 9. In St. Paul. So I'll send the information to you, and hopefully you can share
the flyer.
it. Yes. And so Saturday, February 24th, a couple of Saturdays from now. So definitely I want the women that came to the fashion show to come through. I want women to share it with their sisters. Bring somebody with you. What you're going to get is not only the Shaax and Sheko style, the sisterhood that we know we got, but you're also going to get promotions. You know, I'm going to have sales, and the thing I want is for every woman to experience Zolasina. I really want you to experience, even if it's a hijab, I want you to experience the difference of Zolasina.
Yes.
So I want you to just come there, have a good time. And we're gonna have fitted rooms that are built out. Yes.
I love this.
We're gonna,
I'm excited.
It's all women, so you don't have to worry about anything related to you being seen. It's really going to be very special. You know, for my fashionistas who are looking for spring, or you know,
and spring is early this year.
Spring is early.
Get ready.
I do have a fashion spring collection, a fashion update. I have a spring summer collection that's coming up. So that's another thing that's cooking as well.
I love it.
But this is going to be, you know, my two collections really are seasonless. Because when I look at the color schemes, it's things that you can literally wear throughout the year. And the fabrics, you know, you really can stretch it. I'm wearing one of those shirts, and I can wear it in the summer. I can wear it in the fall. summer, you know, all
I
seasons.
love it. It looks like it's elegant. It's a night outfit. It's a day outfit. It's cute.
Yes. So the color schemes is for you to not have just, it's not too bright. It's like a little bit like muted colors, neutrals,
Yeah.
Things that you can rewear. So that's, you know, we're going to put everything out for women. We're going to, like I said, we're going to have sales.
Yeah.
You're going to get some good deals.
Yeah.
You might win some prizes.
Ooh, I love that.
So it's just going to be so fun. I'm really excited for it.
I'm excited as well.
Yeah.
I'm excited. We definitely are going to share the details.
Thank you.
And I love that you're doing this. I'm a very like visual person, and shopping online sometimes makes me so nervous.
Right.
So I love that I'm able to just like touch and feel.
Feel, try on.
Yeah.
You know, try it on with a hijab, try it on with accessories,
Different
see how it
colors.
looks on
Yeah.
you. Feel comfortable in it, because that's what, you know, when you have a clothing store, you have to have a fitting room experience.
Yeah.
And that's basically people trying on to see how it looks on them.
Absolutely.
Trust me, I've not had anybody who hasn't liked how Zolasina clothes fit on them.
Yeah.
And that's something else I want to just talk about is the customized fit.
Yeah.
Because, you know, there's a standard chart for that a lot of designers mainly use, a lot of stores mainly use, which is the standard woman. It's not us.
Right. It's not.
It doesn't have a body physiques. That's why we have a hard time.
Yeah, especially us East African women.
You know, we are blessed.
We are blessed.
We are so blessed.
Yes.
And so I decided to create my own size chart that really recognizes our bodies.
I love that.
And it really is going to fit you. You know, any size you are, whether you're extra small, and my sizes go from extra small all the way to 2X.
Yeah, and your fashion show really demonstrated that, because
The
you had
inclusivity,
all
yes.
sorts of sizes. I'm talking about tall, short,
Every
thick,
size.
skinny.
Every size,
you
you're gonna have
name
something.
it. There was everybody had a piece for them.
You're going to find something.
Yeah.
I hardly find people not find something that they like.
Yeah.
And that's the whole intentionality about it, is even with the sizes, you know, how things fit. You know, I literally had to go through so many samples to get that right, because I was designing for a specific body type. But it's like, you can't just say it's a body type. It's like a person.
Yeah.
It's somebody. There's a woman behind Zolasina, and that woman deserves that recognition.
Absolutely.
And when I don't want to make clothes that don't fit her. I want her to fit. She likes something, she's gonna wear it and she's gonna look good.
Yes.
Because it fits her well.
Exactly.
Yeah, it fits her
Yes.
well. You know, how many times have we gone shopping, we like an item, but the fit is so off, because that body that
It's not
designer
matching.
made it for is
Yeah.
not you.
It's not for
It's somebody
us.
else. It's not for you. It's, and so that's something that I know you will like. I know, you know, a lot of women, they're just surprised at any size that I have the fit for them. And they're just surprised. Like, I can't believe this fits me.
Yeah.
You know, it fits me so well. And that's the whole part is, you know, the sizing is very mathematical to the detail.
Yeah.
Every inch counts. Every inch counts.
I love that. You are breaking barriers. Thank you so much. And you
You're
are, you know,
welcome.
setting the standards, and you're, you know, breaking that European size chart that we have to abide by, you know, all these years living in this country.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
thank you so much for
welcome.
that. I
Thank
love
you.
that.
Thank you.
So, you know, before we end this piece, we always like to end with, what's a piece of advice that you'd share for any young woman? Could be if she's wanting to start her own, you know, fashion industry, or you know, or maybe you have a piece of advice for, like you said, someone who's struggling with their, you know, identity when it comes to clothing. What would you like to share with them?
I always say, you know, when you feel good on the inside, it also helps to look good on the outside, or at least know that you look good at any size, right? And for me, it's like, I don't want to be fitting into somebody else's mold or whatever they created for me. And so the advice that I have for young women is to stay authentic, to find themselves within themselves, because you have that power. And I have 3 daughters, you know. I have a son too. I don't talk about him for some reason.
Shout out to him too.
Shout out to Gulen.
Yeah.
But my daughters, you know, I want to instill in them that they have the power within them to achieve and to be the best version of themselves. And we're all growing. I always say Zolasina is about growth. Never stop growing. I think I want to make that.
Yeah, I love that. Like your tagline. Yes.
Like, because at any age, we could pick up a talent or nurture a talent that we know we had, but we didn't want to bring out.
Yeah.
And, you know, something in me said, go for it, Naima. It's time, because I've always had the yearning to do design from a very young age, but I never really thought it was my time, you know, until like a couple of years ago when I said, go for it. There's no limit to anything that you want to do. I want people to understand that. Like, I want young women to understand that. I want Somali women in general, women of color, Black women to understand there's no limit. Society is what tells you you can't achieve this and that and the other. But within you, you can, anything you put your mind to, you will find a way to make it happen. And so go for it. Whatever that dream is, go for it. Put some motion into it, actually. Action is better than inaction. You dreaming something and sitting on it will actually kill your motivation. It will make you feel bad about yourself. But every step that you take, every action, whether it's a small step today, 1 hour of your time, dedicated to your skill or to your dream, is better than you sitting and you know, not doing anything about it. And it will get you closer to where you want to be. So just go for it.
I love that. I needed to hear that. Wow. Now I feel so, I'm ready to go kick ass. Like, that was so empowering. Naima, thank you so much. And we tell everybody we'd love to see you back on Eat and Talk, because I know, you know, your story is just getting started. It's not ending here. And I'm really excited to see, you know, where the future and the journey is going to take you. February 24th.
Yes, it's a
Saturday. I will be there, inshallah. I cannot wait to see your collections again and touch and feel. And like I said, I'm just very grateful that you were able to make it here today and share your story.
Thank you.
You're such an amazing person, mashallah.
Thank you for having me. I was very nervous at the
Not
beginning.
at all. You honestly, when I tell you, you killed this interview. This was it was very engaging and it was very knowledgeable. And I learned a lot. And I always feel like if I'm able to take away from this, like any interview that I have, it's an amazing one. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me, Yusra.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. So thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye.